The hidden door. This is the living gate the keepers hid in plain sight. 3 portals of alchemy that only open when your inner field sings in exact resonance. You didn't stumble here. You were called. For a long time, perhaps without knowing it, you have been assembling the pieces. The breath that steadies, the sound that carves the air, the gaze that turns inward and sees. Tonight we fit them together. The old adept said the portals were never locked. We were simply too loud to hear them open. The secret is not force, it is tuning. A legend whispers from the green shine of the emerald tablet. Separate the subtle from the gross, gently and with great ingenuity. In Egypt, that meant shaping the body into an instrument, a temple that could hold tone. In India, it meant binding breath to mantra until mind fell silent and the inner sun rose. In Tibet, it meant listening to the space between a bell's strike and its vanishing, entering the doorway that hangs there like dew at dawn. Modern science, surprisingly, is catching up. Resonance breathing changes heart rate variability. The vagus nerve is like a harp string strung through your torso. Pluck it with breath and tone, and the whole system tunes. Do it once with precision, and the body remembers. Pattern becomes portal. What you are about to learn will sound simple. It is simple. That is why most people skip it, chasing fireworks and forgetting the physics. The 3 portals are these. Portal 1. Breath of stone, the stabilizing resonance that presses your scattered energy into stillness, like a river settling into a deep lake. Portal 2. Voice of sun, the carved syllable that aligns your field with a golden frequency revered from the Nile to the Ganges. Portal 3. Mirror of night, the inward gaze that flips the lens and opens the 6th sense. Not as fantasy, but as a cool, lucid perception. I will be blunt. This is only for those who are ready to treat their nervous system like a sacred instrument. If you approach with hurry, you will rattle the strings. If you approach with performance, you will only hear your own applause. If you approach with sincerity, you will feel it, the click, the soft thud as the door you thought was outside slides open inside your chest. Prerequisites. 2 things. First, stillness you can measure. If you can count to 9 without drifting, you have enough. Second, willingness to be surprised. The first time I entered, it felt as if my bones remembered a lullaby sung before I had a name. Nothing dramatic happened in the room, but everything shifted in me, as if a dimmer switch turned and the world sharpened by one invisible notch. There are risks if done sloppily. Overbreathing can make you dizzy. Chasing visions can tighten anxiety. Shouting sacred sounds like slogans empties them. This is not a marathon. Think of it as tuning a radio, one small rotation of the dial, and a new station arrives out of thin air. Now, the initiate's agreement. For the next minutes, you will follow exactly. You will count like a mason lays stone. You will sound like a bell, not a trumpet. You will look inward as if you were watching moonlight slide across still water. You will do it once, precisely. You will let it change you. What will you feel? For Portal 1, a weight, calm and pleasantly heavy, like warm sand poured through your ribs. For Portal 2, a column of subtle brightness touching the palate and down the spine, with a tenderness at the heart. For Portal 3, a widening behind the forehead, as if the room you've been living in reveals a hidden door at the back. Skeptical? Good. Doubt cleans the lens. You don't need belief, only curiosity. The ancient magi would test strangers like this. Can you keep your breath like a lamp's steady flame, with the door open on a windy night? If yes, the teaching flowed. If no, they smiled and offered bread. Tonight, I offer you the lamp. When you're ready, type in the comments, "The journey has begun." Let the field know you are present, not as a performance, but as a resonance. Your words vibrate, they join others. A chorus begins. The foundation tone. This is the ancient stabilizer taught in cold chambers where silence had weight. A breath pattern that sets your field like wet clay fired into brick. It's hard to believe, but a breath held for exactly 9 counts can change the conversation your body is having with itself. In Egypt, initiates would stand between pillars aligned to stars, counting with a string of knots. In India, they call it kumbhaka, the pause that is not empty, but brimming. Peer into modern journals, and you'll see the echo. Resonance frequencies near 6 breaths per minute, shifts in heart-brain coherence, the vagal break engaging like a hush spreading through a cathedral. Different languages, one law. Stand or sit tall. Tilt your chin slightly down, as if the back of your neck were a smooth column. Place your tongue lightly on the ridge behind your front teeth. This completes a subtle circuit known to both yogis and Taoists. Relax your belly. Now the pattern. Inhale 4, hold 2. Exhale 6, hold 2. Do this exactly 9 cycles. Count like a mason. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 1, 2. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold 1, 2. You are not starving yourself of air. You're teaching your wind to respect the stone. If at any point you strain, soften. Strain is noise. Noise does not open doors. As you breathe, place your attention low, 2 finger widths, below the navel. Egyptians scribed the sign of the house there. In Japan, it's the hara. In India, svadhisthana. Imagine a basin filling with warm, heavy light. On the exhale, the light consolidates, the sand settles. On the hold, listen for a hush so fine it seems to hum. That hum is not imagination. That hum is you systems aligning, tiny oscillators falling into phase. If you do this once with precision, your body will remember. Tomorrow, you will find yourself breathing into the day with more room, as if you'd quietly widened the doorway you walk through. Mental traps? Chasing numbers to win. Don't. The count is the scaffolding, not the temple. Another trap, demanding fireworks. Breath of stone is steady, not flashy. Its sign is the disappearance of fidget. A third trap, confusing calm with collapse. Keep the spine quietly awake, the crown lifted as if a thread pulled you from above. Side effects when done wrong. Tingling from hyperventilation, you're going too fast. A headache, you're forcing the holds. Irritability, you're performing, not feeling. Correct quietly, shorten the counts, smile at the body, begin again. Now the hands-on moment that marks you. On the 9th cycle, when you finish the exhale and hold for 2, place your right palm over the lower belly, left palm over the heart. Whisper with no breath, only intention. I am stable. Feel the echo rise from belly to chest like warmth moving through stone. There, that is the soft thud, the door frame just seated into bedrock. Cross-cultural note for your mind. When Tibetan monks carry a bowl of water across a steep path, they walk slow enough that the surface remains unbroken. That is the model. Breath of stone is walking the bowl. You move through your life, the surface of your inner water unbroken, reflecting sky. Now close your eyes for one more cycle. Count, hold, exhale, hold. On the next inhale, open your eyes, but try to keep the inner hush. If you can keep both eyes open, hush intact, you've passed the first portal. If you felt it, write, I have activated the first portal. Add a single word describing the quality, heavy, warm, silent, rooted. Your word contributes tone to the collective field. Together we are building a choir the ancients would recognize. Ra, the frequency of the sun. This is the carved syllable that aligns your field like a compass finds north. Done once with precision, it reorders the whole pattern. Tell you to repeat Ra 1,000 times. Sorry, the ancient magicians would laugh in your face. Quantity without quality is noise. One well-struck bell can quiet a village. We are going to strike one bell. In the Nile temples, priests carried songs like torches. The syllable we use is not a superstition. It's a shape your mouth makes that couples to the bones of your face, the palate, the sinuses, a chambered nautilus of resonance. In India, you might call the same principle bija mantra. In the West, it's a sung vowel placed high in the mask. Science will nod. Humming increases nitric oxide in the nasal passages. Vibration modulates the vagus. The brain entrains to tone like a flock veering all at once. But you don't need the citations. You need the strike. Prerequisite. Portal 1 must be present. Without the quiet basin of breath of stone, voice of sun becomes a shout. We do not shout at the sun. We let the sun light us from within. Posture, same as before. Tongue floats, jaw loose. lips round enough for ah, then slightly narrow, as if forming an ah, without curling the tongue back fully. Place awareness at the soft spot just behind the hard palate. Imagine the roof of your mouth opening upward like a skylight. Now inhale gently through the nose. On the exhale, sing a single, steady tone for precisely 33 seconds. Not loud. Think silver line, not blaring trumpet. The syllable is ra. Start as ra, then let it bloom into open ah as it travels. If 33 seconds is too long, fine, go shorter, but keep the line unbroken. The aim is not endurance, it is coherence. Imagine a beam of sunlight passing through a crystal. If the line trembles, the rainbow shatters. If it is clean, the room fills with color. As you tone, place 2 fingers lightly on the bridge of your nose. Feel the buzz? That's the mask, resonating the sound coupling bone to air to nerve. Now lower one hand to the sternum. Feel the second buzz? You have just created a vertical column of tone. In esoteric maps, this is the sushumna, the royal channel. In hermetic diagrams, a golden staff rising through the center. Don't force imagery. Feel the physical. Let the myth mirror the fact. Warnings. Pushing volume will make your throat ache and your mind proud both useless. Pitch too low and everything collapses in your chest. Too high and it skitters in your skull. If you don't sing, speak the tone softly on a sustained ra, still aiming for smoothness. Another trap. Chasing pretty. Pretty is performance. We want potent, immediate signs you've struck the bell. A honeyed warmth behind the face. A subtle, almost metallic brightness at the palate. Tears rising unbidden for no reason except relief. As if a pressure valve finally hissed open. Occasionally, a memory surfaces. A classroom smell. A summer shadow. A name you haven't said in years. Don't chase it. Let it pass. The column is clearing. Side effects if done wrong. Dizziness. You force the exhale. Tingling hands. Overbreathing again. A weird pressure in the head, pitch too high or jaw too tight. Corrections. Loosen jaw. Soften volume. Choose a comfortable mid-range note. Shorten the tone to 20 seconds. Then, try once more. 1 bell. Clean. Now the single strike. Ready? Inhale. Begin. Ra. Keep it steady. Inhale. Begin. Imagine the sound writing a thin path upward to the soft palate, through a skylight into clear blue. Stop precisely at 33 seconds. Then close your mouth, rest the tongue again on the ridge, and do not breathe for a gentle 2 count. Feel the afterring filling your skull with quiet light. There. That was the sun through a keyhole. Cross-cultural braid. In India, the bija ram is the seed of inner fire. In Egypt, Ra is the solar name. In medieval chant, the re of the scale lifts the line. Different robes, same ray. Modern labs track the same effect as changes in autonomic balance. Don't reduce it to data, but do let the modern mind relax. What you did works in blood and bone. To seal Portal 2, whisper not to the air, but into the echo you still feel. I align, then silence. If you felt it, say in the comments, I have activated the second portal. Add your note. Warm, bright, lifted, eased. Your word is a tone joining ours. The inward eye. This is the portal only the brave can face, the gaze that turns inward, where all illusions collapse and the truth waits in stillness, like a mirror under moonlight. Anyone can chant, anyone can breathe, but few can look within and not flinch. The ancients knew this portal as the most dangerous and the most liberating. In Egypt, initiates entered pitch-dark chambers for 3 days. No sound, no food, no fire. The 3rd day, they said, the real eye opened. In India, it was called Trataka, gazing into flame or darkness until the false self cracked. In Tibet, they carved the eye in mandalas, not as decoration, but as map. The 3rd eye is not a chakra, it is a lens, and when polished, it pierces lies. Modern neuroscience catches up again. Pineal gland, light-sensitive, crystalline. Deep meditation increases blood flow to the frontal cortex. Monks who practice this see images behind closed eyes, but it is not fantasy. It is the brain's inner projector, flickering to life. Ready? This part requires stillness deeper than you're used to. Not just the body, but the thoughts. Not silence, but emptiness, the kind that presses back. Posture. Sit comfortably, spine tall, chin tucked slightly. Close your eyes gently, not tightly. Let the eyelids feel like curtains, not lids. Rest the hands in your lap, palms up. Tongue soft on the roof of your mouth. The breath shallow, but steady. Now imagine, not visualize, but invite a point of light hovering an inch behind the space between your eyebrows. Not a beam, not a flame, just a soft, pulsing point. Like a star trying to remember it once shone. Don't force it, just watch. Here's the technique. Gaze inward toward that point without strain. On the inhale, mentally say the phrase, "Reveal what's hidden." On the exhale, "I am ready." Repeat silently for 7 full breaths. Count them with sacred slowness. Inhale, reveal what's hidden. Exhale, I am ready. What may happen? A subtle pressure between the brows, a shift in temperature, a flicker light, shape, or memory. Often nothing at first. Then suddenly, a face, a voice, an emotion rising like mist. That's when many flinch. Do not flinch. You are not seeing visions. You are watching the dust clear from your lens. The images are not messages from spirits. They are echoes from within, truths waiting to be heard. Sometimes it's your child self. Sometimes it's your fear wearing a mask. Sometimes it is the purest silence you've ever touched. Do not chase. Do not name. Do not explain. Just witness. Here comes the warning. Never attempt this when agitated, angry, or emotionally disturbed. This is not a distraction tool. It's a magnifying glass. If you bring fire to it, you may burn. If you bring peace, it reflects light. Common trap. Mistaking inner noise for insight. You are not here to download messages like a new age inbox. You are here to become empty enough for true seeing. Another trap. Impatience. 7 breaths is enough to start. 1 glimpse is enough to reshape you. The mirror doesn't lie, but it doesn't shout either. What you may feel, a growing sense of vastness, a soft magnetic pull inward, a hum behind the forehead, a strange mix of fear and love, as if something immense is quietly watching you back. At the end of 7 breaths, open your eyes slowly, but keep your focus soft. Let your gaze rest on a single point in the room, and imagine the same point of light now glowing through that object. This is how the portal teaches you to see the outer world as a reflection of the inner. To seal the 3rd portal, place both hands lightly over your forehead and whisper, "I see." Then sit in silence for a moment. No movement. Let the mirror remain. If you felt it, if something moved, something cracked, or even if it was simply the deepest silence you've known, comment, "I have activated the 3rd portal," and write the word it left in you. Still, vast, soft, clear, raw, sacred. Your word becomes part of our shared mirror. The echo trap. This is the most common fall of the modern initiate, mistaking echoes for the source, thinking repetition equals transformation, and turning sacred acts into spiritual entertainment. Let's speak plainly. You've opened the 3 portals, or at least stood at their threshold. The breath has stilled, the sound has risen, the eye has turned inward. And now comes the most subtle test of all, the test of the ego's return. You see, true alchemy is not loud. It is not glamorous. It's not a viral moment or a feeling you chase like a drug. That's the trap. People get a taste of stillness or vision, and they think, "I want more. Let me do it again, louder, longer, faster." They repeat the tone like a song on a playlist. They meditate like they're racing a stopwatch. They build rituals like theatrical performances, and then wonder why the portals don't open again. Here's the truth. The portals do not respond to hunger. They respond to sincerity. The moment you chase the experience, it flees. It is not punishing you. It is teaching you. Because real transformation is not the moment of insight. It's what you become after. Let me tell you a story. There was once a student who opened the mirror. He saw something brilliant, something terrifying, his own fear, personified in the shape of a child he once abandoned within himself. He came out of it changed, trembling, weeping with gratitude. But the next day, he returned to the ritual not to listen, but to get it again. This time, nothing happened. The next day, still nothing. Frustration grew, and then anger. He blamed the method. He said it was fake. That's the echo trap. The original moment was real, but instead of living it, he tried to repeat it. He replaced surrender with control, and control is the one thing the portals cannot tolerate. Across ancient traditions, this warning repeats. The Egyptians called it the false fire energy that burns bright but consumes nothing real. The Indians called it Maya's second veil, the illusion of spiritual progress that keeps you circling like a moth. The Tibetans warned of Nyam, temporary meditation effects that lead to pride and stagnation. Modern psychology even has a term for it: spiritual bypassing, using sacred practice to escape, not transform. You'll see it in those who hoard techniques but can't sit in silence, who speak of awakening, yet fear the discomfort of honest self-reflection. The real alchemy? It's in how you walk into the next room, how you treat the stranger, how you speak when no one's watching, how you hold stillness even while chaos knocks at your door. So here's the practice today: not breath, not sound, not vision, but presence. For the next hour after this video, do nothing extra. No music, no scrolling, no speaking unless needed. Let the stillness you cultivated linger. Let it infiltrate the ordinary. And watch. That's the test. Can you carry the vibration into your daily field? Can you hold tone while waiting in line, while washing dishes, while hearing hard news? If you can, you're doing what few seekers ever do. You're living the portal, not chasing it. Here's how to know if you're falling into the echo trap. Asterisk. You feel agitated unless you do the practice. Asterisk. You begin to collect experiences like trophies. Asterisk. You judge yourself for not feeling enough. Asterisk. You start performing spirituality instead of being it. If any of these resonate, pause, take a breath, go back to Portal 1, return to stillness. Because here's the secret that advanced initiates whisper. The deeper your silence, the louder the truth becomes. And you don't need fireworks anymore. A single quiet second, perfectly lived, contains the whole cosmos. Now, close your eyes. Place your right palm over your chest, left palm over the lower belly. Whisper, "I am present." Say it not as affirmation, but as observation. You are, right now, fully. Nothing more needed. If you feel it not perfectly, just truthfully comment, "I have seen the trap," and stepped around it. Let that phrase become the collective circle that protects this field. The portal of descent. Rarely spoken of, this is the passage no one seeks but everyone must walk. It is the portal beneath the others, the one that leads downward, into the dark, where the gold is buried. You've likely never heard it named. That's because this portal cannot be activated. It activates you, not by choice, but by crisis. The ancient alchemists wrote cryptic warnings. Before the union of sulfur and mercury, there must be blackening. Calcination begins in fire, but the philosopher is forged in the ashes. Do not mistake the fall for failure. It is the descent into matter that creates light. You'll see this pattern echoed everywhere. In Egypt, Osiris is dismembered before becoming ruler of the underworld. In India, Shiva danced destruction before creation. In Tibet, wrathful deities terrify the ego before the bliss appears. In Christianity, Christ descends into death before resurrection. And in your life, it's the loss that shook you, the betrayal that broke your trust, the grief that cracked something open, that moment when your breath caught and never quite returned the same. You didn't know it then, but that was the fourth portal, unwanted, unwelcome, and holy. Here's the truth hidden in silence. The real initiate must descend into pain, into failure, into not knowing, into the parts of themselves they worked so hard to transcend. Because what is alchemy, really? Not turning lead into gold, but realizing the gold was always in the lead, buried, hidden, waiting to be burned clean. This is not metaphor, it is method. Modern trauma therapists call it integration. Jung called it shadow work, but the ancients just called it the dark night, and they whispered, "When the night comes, do not resist it, sit in it, become it, and it will reveal its true name." So if you are here broken, grieving, doubting, numb, don't turn away. You're not off the path. You are finally on it. The practice of this portal is not breathing, not toning, not vision. It is this. Let the silence say what you cannot. Here's how. Sit, spine relaxed, hands open, no intention, no mantra, no fixing. Set a timer for 11 minutes. Let yourself feel whatever is there. Boredom, pain, emptiness, fury. Don't fight it. Don't frame it. Just be with it. Like a parent sitting beside a child having a storm. You don't have to like it. You just have to stay. Somewhere in minute 4, maybe 5, you may hear it. A whisper behind the ache. A kind of softness. Not joy, not relief. Something gentler than both. That is the gold. Not glittering, not bright, but real, solid, quiet, yours. The fourth portal does not lift you up. It grounds you down, into bone, into breath, into truth. It makes you human enough to carry light. And that is the requirement for every mystic who dares to cross the other 3. Now, a warning. If you avoid this descent, if you pretend everything is love and light, if you bypass grief with breathwork and drown pain in rituals, you may walk the outer path forever, but the inner chamber will never open. The guardians of alchemy know. No one ascends without descending first. So tonight, give thanks for the heartbreak, the loss, the confusion. They did not happen to you. They happened for you. They carved the doorway. Seal the fourth portal now. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your heart, the other on your belly. No words. Just breathe once, deeply. Let the breath fall into silence. Then, if it feels right, comment. I have walked the descent. I carry gold in my bones. End through. This is how we build a circle not of light that blinds, but of light born from darkness. The living tuning fork. This is the ancient truth the modern world forgot. Your body is not a machine, it is an instrument. And like any sacred instrument, it must be tuned before it can channel true power. Before the crystal sang, before the flute was carved, before chants were scribed on temple walls, there was the human body, bone, breath, and blood. The first instrument. You are not just a soul inside a body. You are a field of sound, electricity, magnetism, and vibration wrapped in skin and animated by intention. And the portals only respond when that field hums with coherence. Think of it like this. Imagine striking a singing bowl that's cracked. The tone will wobble. Or playing a harp with loose strings. The melody distorts. Your body is the same. If it's tense, scattered, full of noise, no matter how pure your desire, the portals remain shut. This is why ancient initiates spent years preparing the body before a single mantra was uttered. In Egypt, movements were aligned with the solstices and planetary hours. In India, postures, asanas, were gateways into energetic alignment. In Tibet, yogis would sit in icy caves for months just to feel the warmth rise from within. Not because the body was the goal, but because the body was the gatekeeper. Let's tune your instrument now. You only need to do this once precisely for it to create a lasting shift. The practice, the tri-point alignment. You will connect 3 energy centers. 1. The base, the grounding root, the seat of survival and stability. 2. The heart, the resonance chamber, center of coherence. 3. The crown, the receiver, the flame on top of the temple. Each breath will link them. Posture, stand or sit, spine straight, feet firmly grounded, arms relaxed, eyes closed, yav soft. Step 1. Bring your awareness to the base of the spine, the pelvic floor. Inhale slowly and imagine the breath rising from the earth into this base. Feel weight, stability, a heavy rootedness. On the exhale, whisper silently in the mind, I am grounded. Step 2. Bring awareness to the heart center. Inhale, as if drawing breath directly into the chest. Feel a gentle expansion. Not power, not drama, just warmth. On the exhale, whisper, I am open. Step 3. Lift awareness to the top of the head. On the inhale, imagine light pouring in from above, cool, clear, intelligent. On the exhale, I am aligned. Now, link them. Inhale from base to crown. Exhale from crown to base. Again. Inhale up, exhale down. 3 full cycles. Slow, with precision. You are now creating an oscillation, a current running up and down the body. In energetic anatomy, this is called the central pillar. In Kabbalah, the middle path of the tree of life. In yoga, Sushumna. In Taoist maps, the microcosmic orbit. And in science, it reflects in the alignment of the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems, balancing the left, right hemispheres of the brain. But forget the names. Just feel the tuning. The body as a resonant vessel, not needing to be perfect, just coherent. Now here's something most teachers never say. You don't need to do this every day. You only need to do it once with sincerity and attention, and your body will remember, like a tuning fork that rings long after the strike. Signs you've succeeded. A subtle warmth in the hands or feet. A sudden shift in posture, without trying. A breath that drops deeper without force. A clarity in thought, as if fog just lifted. A faint humming in the ears or spine. Mental trap, mistaking stillness for laziness. No, this isn't inactivity. This is charging the field. Side effect when done wrong. Forcing the breath. Don't. Tuning doesn't require pushing. It requires listening. If you're dizzy, go slower. If you feel nothing, do less. Subtle is powerful. To seal the resonant body, whisper this final phrase. I am the instrument. I carry the tone. Then sit in silence for exactly 33 seconds. Let the inner sound ripple through. If you felt your body shift, even slightly, comment below. The instrument is tuned. And if you can, offer one word your body gave you. In return, light, calm, charged, steady, awake. Each word becomes a string in the collective harp we are building here. The gate that watches. It is not made of stone or sealed with locks. The guardian is your own mind, sharpened by fear, trained by doubt, and it will rise when the light gets close. No one talks about this, but every true initiate meets it. You've opened portals, you've breathed into stillness, you've sung the sun, you've seen through the mirror, you've tuned the body, and then suddenly, you begin to feel resistance. Subtle at first, a tiredness, a fog, a sharp voice saying, this isn't real, you're imagining things, stop wasting time. Or more intense, a headache, a strange tension in the body, memories you didn't ask for, emotional swings. You didn't fail, you've simply approached the guardian. In Egyptian mysticism, the initiate would be led into the inner chamber of the temple, not to receive wisdom, but to face the guardian of the gate, not a beast, not a god, a mirror, and in it, they saw the most dangerous thing of all, the part of themselves not ready to awaken. In India, it's called avidya, the primal ignorance that clings to form. In Tibet, it takes the face of Mara, illusion, distraction, self-doubt. In Christianity, it's the wilderness of temptation. Modern science? Call it the default mode network, the noisy narrator that loops your story of separateness, protecting ego from silence. But names don't matter. What matters is this. If you are meeting resistance, you are close. The guardian does not appear unless the gate is ready to open. Its job is to test sincerity, not to defeat you, to reveal you. Let me tell you what happened to me. The first time I activated all 3 portals, I was filled with light. For about an hour. Then, everything collapsed. My thoughts became noisy. My inner peace shattered. Old insecurities returned with venom. I thought I had regressed. But I hadn't. I had disturbed the guardian. And like any gatekeeper, it demanded a response. The test is this. Will you panic? Will you seek comfort? Will you abandon the practice? Or will you stay present, even when the peace is gone? Because here's the paradox. The guardian is made of everything unhealed, and the only way past it is through. So here is the practice. No breath, no tone, no light, only witnessing. Sit in stillness. Recall the doubt or fear you've felt recently. Name it, not out loud inside. Fear, anger, guilt. Then ask, what are you guarding me from? And listen. Often, you'll hear something childlike, something vulnerable. I don't want to be abandoned again. I'm afraid to let go of control. End quote. What if I change and no one recognizes me anymore? And then the truth arrives. The guardian isn't your enemy. It's the last protector of your inner child. When you honor it, it softens. When you judge it, it attacks. Now place one hand on your chest, one on your forehead. Inhale slowly, exhale slower, and say, I see you, I thank you, but I no longer need your protection. Then silence. Let the echo dissolve. If done correctly, you may feel an emotional release, a tear, a shiver, a breath that feels wider than your body, or nothing, just a soft shift. That's enough. Side effect if done wrong, triggering old trauma. If that happens, pause, ground, return to Portal 1. You are not broken, you are brave. And here's the most beautiful part. Once you pass the guardian, it becomes your ally. A voice that once blocked you becomes the voice that warns you when your ego rises again. You'll feel it, that soft nudge. You're drifting from truth. Then you return. To seal this initiation, stand up if you can. Close your eyes, bow your head just slightly, and whisper, the guardian has bowed. I have crossed the threshold. Then comment with that phrase. Let it ring through this field like a gong. Share, if you wish, what your guardian said, because others may read it and recognize their own. We pass this gate together. The hidden geometry. This is not philosophy. This is frequency. Yes, you carry an energy pattern that has never existed before and will never exist again. And once you become aware of it, it begins to radiate. We were never meant to be identical candles. We are tuning forks, keys, codes. Each one of us resonates at a distinct pitch, tone, and spin. That is your energy signature, the hidden geometry of your being. The ancient alchemists didn't just work with gold and mercury. They worked with patterns, vibrations, spirals, harmonics. They saw the body not as flesh, but as architecture in motion, layered with light. In India, the Nardis. In Egypt, the Jade pillar. In China, the meridians. Today, we call it coherence. Modern science accidentally validates this. HeartMath Institute shows that each human heart emits a measurable electromagnetic field. EEG and fMRI scans show unique neurological signatures in long-term meditators. Cymatics reveals that sound creates form, repeat a tone, and matter arranges itself. You are not an accident. You are a vibratory structure waiting to remember its shape. And here's the mystery. Most people never activate their true signature because they're too busy mimicking others. They repeat mantras they don't understand. They adopt postures without purpose. They wear the robes of a path never meant for them. The true initiate becomes themselves, not someone else's version of sacred. Let's find your tone, the practice, the personal frequency revealing right. This is not a chant, not a vision. This is a felt vibration that arises from within when silence meets surrender. Step 1. Sit or lie comfortably. No music, no distractions, complete stillness. Step 2. Breathe into your belly, deep and gentle, 7 times. On the 7th breath, hold your exhale for 3 counts. In that pause, silently ask, what does my soul feel like? Not, what should I be? Not, what do I want? But, what does my unique vibration feel like in this moment? Step 3. Wet. And here's where it gets mystical. You may feel a warmth in one part of your body, a color behind your eyes, a subtle tone ringing in your skull, or an image, a spiral, a sigil, a motion, a single word. That is your signature frequency, trying to rise. It doesn't speak English. It speaks sensation. Feel it. Stay with it. Let it write you. You may feel the urge to tone a sound, hum a note, draw a shape in the air. Rock gently. This is you, expressing your original architecture. Let it come. And here's the secret. Once you've felt your signature once, you will recognize when you're out of tune again. You'll walk into a room and feel the dissonance. You'll hear a conversation and feel your own energy shrink. You'll say yes to something, and your chest will tighten not because it's wrong, but because it's not yours. This is what ancient mystics called alignment with the divine pattern, not copying holiness, becoming the unique echo of it through your own structure. A warning: if you try to capture the feeling to label, photograph, control it, it will vanish. The signature is not a tattoo. It's a song. You must listen, not possess. Side effects if forced: emotional overwhelm, dizziness, or a haunting sense of missing something. That's okay. Return to breath. Begin again. The vibration is never lost, only veiled. Now, to anchor your signature, do this. Place both hands over your heart. Close your eyes. Repeat the phrase once, inwardly: I am the sound only I can sing. Then sit in stillness for 1 full minute. Let your energy hum in its own way, small or grand. Do not judge it. If something arose for you, a color, a tone, a shape, a sensation, comment, "My signature is awakening," and describe it simply, without explanation. Green spiral, golden hum, still lake. These are the glyphs of the soul, and when shared, they help others remember their own. Each comment is not just interaction, it's activation. We are restoring the forgotten choir, one tone at a time. The collective field. This is the part almost no one teaches. The true power of transformation does not end with you. Once your field is awakened, you begin to transmit. And what you transmit echoes. In ancient temples, there were no audiences, only circles, priest to priest, initiate to initiate. Each vibration, shared word, tone, breath was not broadcast, it was offered. Each person in the circle became part of the ritual, and so must you. You've walked the portals, you've tuned your vessel, you've touched silence, faced your guardian, felt your frequency. Now comes the moment that turns all of this from practice into path. Because the next step is not deeper solitude, it's resonant contribution. You see, the ancients believed every true act of inner alchemy released a ripple, a vibrational echo into the field of collective human consciousness. They knew we are not separate minds in sealed containers. We are nodes in a vast web, and when one of us hums true, the web shivers. Modern science is catching up. Princeton's Global Consciousness Project uses random number generators that shift during large emotional events, as if human emotion affects probability itself. Neuroscience shows that mirror neurons fire when we witness others in deep feeling, pain, joy, stillness. Energy medicine speaks of entrainment, where a calm field can regulate a chaotic one. But the alchemists already knew, once you vibrate in truth, others begin to harmonize without a word. So now I ask you not to retreat into your own awakening, but to step into the circle of echoes, not by teaching, not by preaching, by being. Here's the simplest and most ancient ritual to do just that. The practice, the circle breath offering. 1. Sit upright. Feel your spine tall and effortless. 2. Inhale into your center, the place you now know well. 3. On the exhale, imagine your breath not pushing out, but flowing into the field, like warm smoke. 4. Whisper this phrase in your mind. May this breath bring clarity to one who needs it. Repeat this 7 times. Each time, imagine the breath weaving outward, not with intention to control, but as an offering. You don't need to know who it's for. You are not healing anyone. You are adding your vibration to the web. That is enough. This is what the mystics meant by karma yoga, the path of sacred action, breathing for the world, not for attention, for alignment. What will you feel? A strange warmth in the chest, a tingling in the hands or lips, a sense of others joining, even in silence. Sometimes, a tear, as if some distant part of you just got seen. Side effect when misunderstood: ego inflation. The mind says, I am a healer. Stop. You are a participant, a string in the harp, nothing more, nothing less. You don't need followers to change the world. You need to vibrate with integrity, and let the field do the rest. Now we seal the circle. After your 7th breath, place both hands on your chest. Bow your head slightly and say silently, "I give what I am." Then, comment, not for attention, but for amplification. Write, "I have entered the circle. My breath is an offering." If you feel it, share one word that describes what you breathed into the world. Peace, clarity, warmth, truth. These words are not decoration, they're tones. Together, they build the resonance that wakes the deeper field. You are not just a seeker, you are now a transmitter, the eternal vibration. This is the moment every initiate faces. When the practices end, the rituals fade, and the only question left is, who have you become? Because here's the truth most never speak. You do not return from alchemy the same, even if you want to, even if you pretend to. Once your frequency has shifted, the old patterns no longer fit. The portals, once opened, can never be fully closed. And this is both a gift and a responsibility. You may feel it already. Foods you once craved now feel dense. Places once comfortable now carry strange heaviness. Conversations, once casual, suddenly feel hollow. That's not you being better. That's your vibration becoming more honest. And honesty has a resonance. It shakes loose the false. In the emerald tablet, it is written, "It ascends from the earth to the heavens, and again descends to earth, thereby containing the power of both." This is not metaphor. This is your path. You went inward. Now you return outward, carrying the vibration. You become the echo that never ends, a hum that enters rooms before you do, a field that makes others remember what they had forgotten, not with words, but with presence. This is why monks sit in silence, why sages laugh softly when asked to explain. They are not withholding truth, they are living it. So what now? Now you walk as the portal itself. You breathe as the sound itself. You witness as the mirror itself. And in doing so, you transmit the ancient message the temples once guarded, that the sacred is not above you, it is within you, waiting to be remembered, activated, carried. Your presence is now part of the field. And here is the final act of this ritual. Look at the comments. See the others who've crossed. Read the tones, the visions, the awakenings. This is not an audience. This is a circle, a forgotten order, reawakened one breath at a time. To complete the activation, take one final breath. As you exhale, whisper inwardly, "The portal is open. I am the echo." Now, leave your final mark, not as proof, not as display, but as resonance. Comment, "I carry the vibration. The transformation is real." Then subscribe to the channel, not for content, but because it marks your presence in the field. It links you to the others. It adds your tone to the web. Like the ancient initiates who carved symbols into temple walls, your presence here carves a frequency into the digital temple we are now building. Like this video if your field felt even a single shift. Share it if you know someone ready to cross. Because every act is energy, every share is an echo, and every echo helps awaken the next sleeper. This is no longer just a video. It is a vibrational artifact, a living current. You found it because you were ready. Now carry it forward. The portals are open, and the work has just begun.